of course, now we've been working together for, well, since beginning of February, right?
Right.
Approximately.
Yep.
Or that's how long you've been live for, at least. So what I'm a little bit curious to learn more about is what even got you into the med spa industry in the first place?
So yeah, it's kind of funny. I've been in healthcare for about 25 years, cut my teeth in pharmaceutical sales, went into diagnostic sales, owned a compound pharmacy, owned a diabetic wellness company. So really my background has been in finding unmet needs in healthcare, small niches of unmet needs in healthcare. And so when I saw the trends going on with the GLP-1s and weight loss and everything that's going on, it intrigued me, obviously, because I'm, uh, you know, passionate. I was an ex-athlete and, you know, want to be passionate about what I do, right? It's not, I don't want to go out and sell widgets and be a billionaire. Like, that's just not me. That's not who I am. Like, I'm passionate about helping people, which is originally why I got into healthcare. So kind of long story here is I saw the opportunity. My sister actually had a terrible experience with another clinic, and that was local. And she she just went through this whole really, really unfortunate story about how she felt like she was cattle herded in, and the place was so busy, and all they do is they just jab you and see you later, and really didn't get any kind of support around the products. And so that's where I was like, well, I think I can do this better. That's kind of always my MO of like, well, how can I do this better? Right. And so I've really developed a platform that is centered around peeling back the layers for people and understanding where their true struggles are, and really trying to help them in that and be their coach, their support, their accountability, even to be able to help them reach their goals. And that's truly like where it started. Now it's evolved into a whole lot more, but that's where it started.
Yeah. Well, that's huge. Actually, just like going into it also because you want to help people, right?
Right, right.
Yeah. So I'm sure that when you first got started on, well, opening up your med spa and everything that comes with that, what was some of the things that you found really challenging in that process of getting all, well, launched, really?
Yeah, well, there's obviously the red tape of regulation and everything. I'm not a provider, so there's definitely some hoops you have to jump through to get there. So that was probably priority number one, making sure every all my ducks are in a row from a legal standpoint, um, and then learning and understanding the products the way I like to, really understanding the mechanism of action and how they act in the body, how people respond to them, side effects, really trying to come alongside and truly understand these wonderful products, but also come with everything comes with some kind of risk, right? And so I always want to educate my clients and let them know, hey, here's the upside, here's the downside. If you experience this, we're here for you. So at the end of the day, it's really being a resource for my clients to be able to have them come to us and say, hey, yeah, um, we really appreciate, the attention you pay to us. Even when we're here, we carve out 15 minutes to half an hour for them, to go through. And it's not about hurting people in and out, it's about listening and trying to help them. So at the end of the day, you know, a lot of the hurdles were understanding the products to the point where it could truly help people. And honestly, getting into certain devices where you you don't want to get into something and spend a fortune on something where you're going to get okay results. That's been always, it's a results driven industry, right? People want results. And if you come and you sell them the bill of goods, and Riverside's like the biggest small town in America, right? So like you're gonna get a bad name real fast if you're not getting results. And I'm sitting here selling these big packages and no one's no
Yeah.
one's getting good results. So long story is those are probably the two most challenging, studying the products and making sure I have the right equipment in my office to make sure that we're helping our clients.
100%. And yeah, navigating compliance and legalities too and getting all into it as a non-medical professional.
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
How did you first hear about us here at Injectable Boost?
It was actually kind of well, it was through an introduction. So Brooke Birmingham is my coach. And so was telling her about all my woes with marketing, the expenses and just how it's draining me. And I was very frustrated. And so you were working with, I'm gonna blank on his name, but he's in Tennessee. And she set us up, and I had a great conversation with him, and he had just started working with you guys actually. And he was like, and he told me some of the results you had, and I was like, wow, okay. That sounds really intriguing, and some of the things that he said as well about working with you guys, about his relationship and kind of how you guys interact. And I was like, okay, well, let me give this a shot, because I've been 3 years of just spinning my wheels, firm after firm after firm, probably 5 or 6 firms, to be honest with you. Um,
Wow. For
and
3 years, you've been trying to figure out what will find the best partner for you, basically.
Yeah.
Something that
Well,
works.
it's all lead driven, and leads mean absolutely nothing to me, Like, I need people in the door. Leads, you can send me a million leads, but if no one shows up, it doesn't mean anything. And I feel like all these marketing firms, all they want to do, their success is based off of, they measure their success based off lead generation, right?
Yeah.
Where that does, I need money into my clinic. So they charge me for leads and I don't get anything in return, and they're getting paid and I'm not. And it's very, very frustrating for me to be able to, you know, really try and manage a business while I'm getting drained money wise, putting all this money into marketing schemes that I'm not getting any return. So that's been the biggest challenge for me. Hands down was my biggest challenge before I met you guys.
Yeah. I would imagine then when you spoke to us for the first time, even though, of course, you talked to the guy in Tennessee, but when you spoke to us, weren't you still like nervous about going into
Very
starting?
skeptical,
Yeah.
very
Yeah.
skeptical, cautiously optimistic. I mean, obviously, when you know somebody who has been down the path and, said, "Hey, I like it, but it's early," and this is what they've been able to do. Um, it's like, oh, okay, wow, like I would love to, have a
Yeah.
conversation. So yes, it was cautious. I would say very cautiously optimistic.
What made you go for it then?
When we spoke on the phone, I got a really good feel for I think you and your company and your organization and how you guys approach marketing. And it seemed a lot more like a synergistic model, I guess. And we win together. And I just felt that the pricing was in a place where it was still affordable. And for the service that's provided, I felt like we could win. We could both win in that scenario. You weren't charging me a fortune to be, and then saying, "Hey, we're going to do this and this and this," and all of a sudden, nothing happens. And that's the hard part for me is I get charged for getting these long-term contracts or whatever it may be, and they they stick it to you, in essence. And it's very frustrating from that standpoint where you guys asked for a 90-day commitment, and I was like, great, that's reasonable, especially from a marketing standpoint, campaigns up and running and everything, content creation and all that stuff. So, um, and then we got going, and it ended up being really fantastic, to be honest. So
So
far.
what was the moment then when you say that where you, I guess, just realized that this was the right decision?
I mean, obviously when the leads started coming in, but obviously we have a channel of communication as well, an open channel of communication through Slack where people respond in a relatively in a reasonable amount of time, right? There'd be other companies where I would reach out and I go days, sometimes weeks without being responded to, and then 2 more weeks to get anything done. Where if I reach out and I tag somebody in a comment, people get back pretty quickly, relatively, and like I said, I mean, 24 to 48 hours is probably my kind of gauge, and so, but most people are back within an hour or two, and so I think just from a communication perspective and being able to have a line of communication with somebody on a regular basis that brings meaningful value. The other companies would just come and just blurt out numbers and say, oh, your price per acquisition and this and that and all these things. And it's like that's great. I mean, those are great. It's not my language, but those are great, like, but at the end of the day, I have a tangible way to be able to look at my book of business. How much money are you guys bringing us specifically, right? And that's something that has just been, I think, really overlooked on the side of other marketing firms that I work with. There's no way outside of like me doing an archaic manual process of going back and cross-referencing and doing all these things to try and see what my ROI is. And so
Gosh.
because all they cared about in the past was leads again. So
Yeah.
I'm doing my job, I'm getting you the leads. And it's like, yeah, well, they're terrible leads. They're not picking up, they're not answering text messages. Like, what am I supposed to do? Like, I'm
Yeah.
doing everything I'm supposed to. So yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
Is that a long-winded way to answer that?
Yeah. Well, it makes perfect sense. Is there any numbers, any results that you've seen that you also feel comfortable sharing? And that could be like revenue, bookings, or any like, oh, I sold a package, anything like that, any
Yeah,
wins.
I mean, recently, just what, 2 days ago, I sold a $4,000 package, which is fantastic. I just updated some numbers here. They're not complete yet. I still have to go through some, but preliminarily, I've been through most everything, and we're at about almost 30,000 in revenue total since we started.
How much?
30,000,
Got you. Cool.
yeah, in about
And when you
what,
get
two
some
months?
packages, it takes
Yeah, yeah.
a step up there.
Well, we sell the packages. I mean, we sell the packages for sure. But we've adjusted too, I mean, there's been adjustments where you know, we're still kind of in the early phases where we're trying to find that right sweet spot to bring the right clientele into. I think we were priced a little
Mm.
too low, that we're bringing people in that maybe weren't really qualified. So,
Yeah, sometimes when you
um,
go, yeah, too low, then I mean, sometimes it works, but other times you end up getting the Groupon kind of clients, and it's difficult to then
right.
convince them
Yeah.
that they need a package. They want to get a dream body for $50.
Yeah, exactly. And they want
Yeah.
that to be not the entry price, but the regular price. And it's like, well, we're just trying to bring you in and have you try it out. This is our regular price. And I think it was a little too low because we were getting the quality of client that was coming into was not, well, I shouldn't say that. There was just, the
It was too
expectation.
difficult to upsell that package, basically, right? And
Yeah,
but now you feel like the quality of clients are good.
100%.
Okay,
Yeah,
fantastic.
100%. Yeah, and lately they've been great. So,
Awesome.
and we're doing, we run our own specials in office and stuff, and they've been doing great too. So it's
Yeah.
been a really, I mean, the campaign's already paid for itself multiple times over. So so
And I
that's
think that's what a lot of people think or are concerned about if they consider starting a med spa as an example, right? I mean, is it even going to work out? Like, is it possible to be profitable and bring the clients in and actually make it work? And of course, it's the same no matter what kind of industry you're in. You got to have good marketing and good client acquisition process. And that's what most med spas and businesses in general, they're missing that
Mhm.
because there is a lot of noise out there with uh, different companies, and you've tried some of them, and they just brought the leads, but no clients, no revenue.
Yeah.
And if someone, let's say that you were to speak to someone who's considering, or maybe they're on the fence about starting a med spa completely from scratch, they probably have a lot of worries about cost, risk, all of this. What would you tell them?
Um, I mean, I love it. I mean, you got to have a passion for it, right? I found my niche and what I love to do, but I mean, if you're just in it to just be like, hey, I just want to make money, it's a tough place to be. You got to really kind of have a passion for it. But I would say having the right marketing behind you is pivotal because you're not going to grow organically the way you want to, unless you just have a huge social media following and they're all in your backyard and you can service everybody. That's one way to go about the business. But I mean, without marketing and good marketing, you are competing against all the other spas in your area, even providers, all these people that are out there, you know, selling, for me, it's GLP-1s, but also doing contouring. You gotta have something bigger than just the contour, because there's people out there that are selling contours for just like $70, you know. And so you got to be able to sell programs and services. If I think if you want to make it in this space, if you're not selling programs and services, you're gonna really struggle. And selling just little onesie twosie ones off, you got to increase your your um your value per guest. And if you're not working on that constantly, then yeah, it's because overhead is substantial, you know. And if you're not driving new business through your door every single day,
Yeah.
good luck, you know. That's going to be really, really difficult.
Yeah. And of course, also, like you mentioned earlier, making sure that the services you offer can actually make a difference for the clients, right? So
100%.
that they want to come back and tell their friends and family about it too. That's, in the end of the day, is crucial.
100%.
Absolutely.
Yeah, yeah.
Cool. Well, that's all the questions that I have, at least for now. Really
Okay.
appreciate it, Gary. This
Yeah,
was
of
super
course.
helpful.
Anytime, anything I can do to help, you know, honestly, I've already sent a bunch of people your way, and you know, I think that they're all going to be pleasantly surprised because of the amount of success that I've had. And you know, I don't put my name on a whole lot, to be honest with you. But if I'm going to refer, I'm definitely going to make sure it's going to help them. And I truly believe that you guys have a great platform, and it's been a joy working with you guys. So
Appreciate it very
yeah.
much.